and OAKLAND BENTA.
Join the People's Choice write-in for Kent Bernier Sr. and OAKLAND BENTA for election reform, paid for by People's Choice. Join the People's Choice write-in for Kent Bernier Sr. and OAKLAND BENTA to end corruption and mismanagement, paid for by People's Choice.
Night and welcome to Healthy Living with Dr. Peter. Good night to everybody here in the studio. Again, we have a special guest. Good night to Brother Bloodstone. Good night.
Halloween.
When we don't do Halloween, we do Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's what we do. Good night to everybody here on St. Croix. I just want Aya to know, no matter what party Aya for, Dr. Peter love all Aya. And I just love treating everybody. I was treating a guy yesterday. This morning. He had Brian Roach hat on, and I treated him with pride and dignity. It didn't matter what hat he have on. The fact that his hat is VI. I love you. It don't matter what side you are. I love you all. Good night. Good night to everybody on St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. Good night to everybody on St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. We have some crazy stuff going on in the studio tonight, but it's not gonna stop the show. Good night to I want to say a condolence to a good friend of mine in St. John. Her mom's funeral was yesterday. The Hendricks family, Brenda, Barbara, Beverly, and 2 other brothers. My heart goes out. When you guys cry, I cry. So I just want you to know that my heart goes out to you. Mommy is in a better place. And I just love to see. Let me tell you all something, right? We need to applaud people in the community. And being a doctor here in the Virgin Islands and witnessing these 5 children Miss Hendricks have in St. John, how all of them just surround her and all of them take care of her and all of them was laughing and playing with her. I mean, that was beautiful to see. Nobody fighting over land. Nobody give a damn about anything. All they care about was taking care of mommy. And they have a sick son. The sick brother is in Florida. He made sure he came down to take care of mommy, to be there before mom died. And I love to see that. And I want you guys to know that I love Ayo from the bottom of my heart. I love Ayo. All right, so condolences to Ayo. I mean, good night to Junie. He's not in the studio tonight. Good night to him. Good night to Alicia Chucky Hansen. Good night to Abdul Ali.
Hello.
It's not on. You might have to come over, yeah. Anyway, so a special good night to everybody in that listening to me in Guyana right now, who's listening to me in Africa, Ethiopia, in Atlanta,
hello,
New York,
hello,
and
hello.
Every other place, Houston, Michigan. Welcome to Healthy Living with Dr. Peter. It's just always a pleasure to be here in the studio to say that again? Yeah, so it's a pleasure to be able to be here in the studio today and always spread truth. You know, that's all we ever want to do is just educate the people. And I was listening to, I've listened to him on numerous occasions. He's a president from Zambia. And I heard a clipping for him this week. And I just had to share it with you because it's believable that we have leaders.
Hello.
We have leaders that can stand up for the people. And I'll just read to you what he said. He said he was talking to the ministers in his cabinet. And he said to them, if you want to drive a nice car, it doesn't have to be a VX. If you want a VX, buy your own. Why do you want to pretend? You know you can't afford a VX. Why would you want to pretend by using taxpayers' money? You said you are the city's mother and father. You are the city's mother and father, but there is no bathroom in the market, which costs under $50,000. Okay. So he's talking about the bathrooms in the market. You know, they don't have no bathrooms, but the cars, it costs under $50,000 to fix the bathroom. Why won't we fix those bathrooms? Why are you using the taxpayers' money to buy VX for the ministers? That VX can build bathrooms in the market for all your constituents. You want a car costing $200,000 when you can use that money to put toilets in all the market. He said, I refuse to buy a new car. And he said after the election last year, which was June 16, the system came to him and told him to sign here before August 24th, which is his original inauguration day. And the person told him to sign this paper. And he said, I can't sign this paper. I'm not even sworn in yet. They wanted him to sign $1.8 million for his colleagues to order new vehicles. So he responded to the person, do we currently have vehicles? Are they working? Are they moving? Do they have wheels? That we go use those. Cancel that contract. And this is what he said, and I appreciate that. And this is the message I have for Governor Bryan today. He said, I am conscious that that money is not my money. It's the people's money. And he refused, he's been in power over a year now, and he refused to buy a brand new vehicle that he know with his allowance cannot buy him that vehicle. He refused to use the Zambians' money, over $200,000 for one vehicle. He refused to use that money to buy a vehicle. I mean, when you hear a leader stand up and say that, you know, you wonder what are our leaders thinking here in the Virgin Islands, where they gain billions and billions of dollars, and they're able to fix stuff like the bathroom in our hospital here. You know, I've been in St. John today, and I'm talking to the people in St. John. And let me tell you something, right? The same cry we crying here on St. Croix, the people of St. John is crying the same cry. The only problem, we don't cry loud. You do me something? Ah! Yeah, we don't cry loud. Well, what happened is St. John did a cry. But you know, some people, they just cry and the tears running down, and they don't wipe it quick before you see them. That's what the people of St. John does. They cry and they quickly wipe their tears. So you believe that they don't cry. But because I'd be there so often and I'd talk to the people of St. John, I end up finding out that they don't cry. I didn't see them cry. And before they wipe the tears, I see it. They don't cry. They don't cry just like us. They're making us believe here on St. Croix that the people on St. John got it good. But check this out. The same loaf of bread you'll buy here for $1. St. Thomas is going to be maybe $2 or $3. But St. John going to be $6, $7 or $8. Now remember, if they're working for the government, they ain't getting paid no extra money. They getting the same pay you getting paid here. So where your dollar could buy a loaf of bread, they need 6, 7 or 8 of their dollars to buy the same loaf of bread, you know. This is what's going on in St. John, you know. So they're squeezing the St. Johnians out of St. John, you know. So in the next 10 to 15 years, they ain't going to be in St. John no more, you know. They'll be forced out of St. John, you know. And that's what's going on St. John. I was talking to one of them today, and she told me, we don't have a hospital here on St. John. And when she said that, I look up because I'm not hearing anybody saying that. Only the Crucian them keep talking about we ain't got no hospital here. We don't have no bathroom in the hospital. The woman tell me the same thing going on in St. John. We don't have a hospital here on St. John. And it's unbelievable. The same cry we crying here on St. John, St. Croix, is the same cry crying on St. Thomas, and it's the same cry crying on St. John. But here's the problem. The St. Johnians feel that there's not enough for them. The Crucian them, we have over 50,000. And St. Thomas maybe have 40. I don't even know how much does St. John have. I don't even know. But they feel their numbers are so small that is insignificant. I am here to tell you, the people of St. John, you, even if it's one of you, you are significant. And you should be treated equally like every Virgin Islander. Matter of fact, we should even be treated better because we're not even being treated good. All right? So we have a special guest again in the studio. Her name is Dr. Karen Dickenson. She don't like me to say that, but I'm going to say it tonight to let you guys know they got 2 doctors in the house. And I want you guys to know that we have Karen, Dr. Karen, here today. And what do you have to say about the people of St. John? What do you see?
So good night. It's Karen Dickenson here.
Dr. Karen.
And I want to say good night to my audience. I want to say good night to the people of the territory. As we continue to champion the challenges that we face in East Territory. And as we speak about St. John, I think equality is a must for St. Johnians. I don't think that they need to be treated as second-class citizens. We all are here in the Virgin Islands. We are under one Virgin Island flag, one Virgin Island government. But why we continue to treat St. Johnians as if they're different? It might be a different look and a different makeup, but we all are Virgin Islanders. One thing I know when I grew up here, and I guess you can attest to that, Cleo, we didn't see color.
No, I didn't know what that was.
I didn't know what color was. I faced prejudice when I went to college in West Virginia. And it came to me by a surprise. So I'm saying that because we can't continue. St. John, we feel your pain. Because we're in the same wound stage as you are. We feel your pain. Because we have blood running through our veins. At that beat. Because you're one of us. And again, like the underserved, and that's the category that you're placed in. Don't be fooled by the glitz and glamour. You have been St. Johnians all your life, and your needs has been there for decades. And more so, we come to where we at today because everybody, when they campaign, they say they can do this and they can do that. But when they get in and the iron get hot, everybody want to jump out the fire. It was there before me. Let me say this public. I don't expect that anyone can solve all the problems that we may have. But I think what we expect is that our leaders take priority to the issues that is paramount, that is the most important to each and every citizens that we have here in East Territory. Example, your hospital. Your hospital. We in the same boat as St. John America is as good as we said we don't have one. And when we play politics with people, like people I'm speaking to you, especially those who are undecided as to where they're going to take their vote. Listen carefully. When you as a leader in a community or a society and you can't fix the only medical facility that we have that will treat you two in times of need.
You and your children.
Let me talk about you alone, because maybe you don't even care about your children either. Let us talk about yourself. Because there's an exercise I used to do that you ask individuals, what is the most important thing in life to you that you can't live without? And they will say everything else. And they will forget themselves. You can't share love if you don't understand what love is. You can't share care if you don't care for yourself.
True. Facts.
So if you can't fix a hospital that you may need at some point, it don't matter how much money you have. When crisis hit, you have to be stabilized before the plane flying, because we don't have the medical plane on the ground here. You have to go to that same hospital. And I say it every time I speak. I hold the workers in the hospital up on high because they're doing their best for their community and their people with the little bit that they have. So the hospital story. Anyone was listening to Mr. P on Thursday, when I called in and I asked the governor 2 questions. One, Can you tell me what is needed to fix the hospital? Is it a nail, a fingernail clip, a flange? Just answer the question. Don't come with all this big talk. When people like to lie or hide away from it, they give you more story. If you have an answer for a direct question, answer that. He come with something about ear and went all over tongue. I went to investigate myself and they said a hospital ain't gonna fix no time soon.
The modular.
The modular. The switch room, whatever switch, they said that is flooded. The roof leaking and the plastering.
Oh my God.
Governor Brian, stop lying and fooling the people. For God's sake, stop. Stop. And I know you're lying because I experienced it with you right on the radio. Because you're the one that said you was going to give some funding. You was on the radio. I didn't ask you. You was on the radio. Oh, Karen Dickenson, I didn't know you were Baba. And when I call you, try to flip coin saying I ain't got some kind of paper. I have my letter of good standing. But you bring me to this point now. Because here it is. Because you feel you looked away, you come to send people after me. I'm not the one. I am not the one. So let me tell you guys what happened in light of between Thursday and Saturday. We have an organization in Tongue that took over Times Square and took it from the people. I have been in Christiansted Tongue for 3 years. I have cleaned up Christiansted Tongue and many other areas of this island with the homeless and mental health. And when you come for my program, you come for me.
Hold on, Karen. 1 second. What's the name of this organization?
St. Croix Foundation.
Go ahead.
Headed by Miss James. You got the audacity, Miss James, to state that I am getting a building in Tongue and nobody had a conversation with you. Tongue is not yours. Tongue is not yours. I don't need or nobody need to have no discussion with you about Tongue. I've been there 3 years. You never came to my place. I've been right around the corner. So if it's Albert send you for me, tell you didn't find me. You guys came into our Tongue in the central mecca of Christiansted that brought bread to the town, where many made their dollars to take care of their family, keep vibrancy in Tongue. But because you guys don't want us in Tongue, you took it over. The homeless and the mental health was in Tongue before Karen Dickenson came. You guys saw them day to day. Urinating in front your door, laying down in front your door, laying down under the movies across the street, and you never handed an assistant to them. But now I'm putting them in a building in Tongue. You talking if I couldn't take them out of Tongue. Tongue is not our own. And the work that they're doing, just like the Fredericksted partners, to get us out of Tongue. You're a local. You should be ashamed of yourself, Miss James Moorhead. You guys have in Tongue, right in front of Alexander Theatre, the most ugliest, because you don't have any light there, and you say about you care about Tongue. When Tongue had traffic in front of Tongue, it was a place of life and vibrancy to the neighborhood. But you guys want to take our people out of Tongue. You take over the building them in Tongue and they look worse than when people were occupying them. What are you talking about? So I don't need no group to tell me how to take care of my people, because you guys aren't doing it. You just got 5 million from the government. What are you going to do with that? When I was in the meeting with Albert, he come ask me, sir, if I give you some money on, let's say, Roy Foundation, be your fiduciary, and I ask you why. They call me and tell me everything that is for progress. They sit down and say, no, 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 no. I don't trouble people. I just talk the truth. Do my work as a human being. And now you coming for me? Tongue is not yours. The building is not yours. The time you worried about me to bring the homeless in Tongue where they are today, and you haven't done anything for them. You worry about uplifting the neighborhood that you guys took over. You don't have light in front of your building. You got one of the nicest buildings on the street. They got other programs there. Why should we have a conversation with you? When you guys, the young group, because that's your sister-in-law down in Frederickston with Community Force. You didn't talk to the people in Campo Rico. You didn't have a meeting with them to ask them if they could bring that down in Frederickston. You put them there. Not that the people would have rejected it because it's theirs. But they tried to make this bully tactic. Miss James Mohead, I am not the one. I am not the one. Whether it was a gamble shop or a rum shop, whatever been in Times Square, it brought life to the town. Everybody don't want to be on the boardwalk, and the boardwalk is one of the worst places to be in town. Up in the Times Square area, you have camaraderie, friendship, commonality. We might not be at the level that you think we should be, but this is our home. This is our home, and what we knew about Times Square was a square and a mecca of this Christian stead that brought people together from all over. You guys come in. You don't fix back the movie because you don't want we in town for movies. You have the best building on the block, but when night come, it's the darkest area in town. The people them who used to sleep at it is me that take care of them. So you bawling, but people need to. Who is you? The same people you don't want to feed. You rather to see them on the street dirty and stink instead of going to a building because somebody tell you we don't need them in town. But for your understanding, some of these same people walk in the street. Those buildings were their family owned. You understand? For you to want to buy them out, to put we out of town, to make everything so hard for the locals. And you're one of us. Sell out. You're one of us. You want to see the worst for yourself is your own. The worst for yourself. I have never had a conversation with these people. I pass in front of the door. I pass with my group. Everything. But you don't want them in town. But your husband coming to pick them up so they could go to your house to fix your house so you could sleep warm and nice. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. The same people you refuse, you come to pick them up to go and do work to your house in your fancy house. Don't come for me, hypocrite. You pick them up from in front of my center. Your husband come and pick them up. And when you ain't find them, you're saying, oh, they know I will come in. But you want slave wages labor to pick them up to work so your fancy house could stay together. But you gonna tell me you know that I've been there. You never come there, but you want to tell me that they can't. You don't want them in tongue, take them sometimes. And tongue is not yours and others, it's not theirs. When you come for me with the homeless, you come for me. Who are you think are you is? Have conversation? Huh? I tell her you're wrong here though. The non-profit runs just like the government. As long as they could control you, they want you. But they ain't gonna control me because when I came here, Cleo and public, I came with my money in my pocket. I came to have conversation because it was the right thing for me to do my due diligence, to meet with the necessary department, Health and Human Services. You don't have conversation with me, but you could always call me for assistance. Oh, we got somebody that need a place. Somebody call, they having a mental health problem with a child. They need to put them in a place. It ain't about Baba. My mouth big and they gonna stay big. Anybody who know me from 4th grade, 1st grade, they'll tell you, this is who I am. I'm not going to sit down and watch Rango and to play along to get along. I don't want to be in a social status group. I've been in better places with better people. Your own. So Albert, if you send them after me, let it tell you they ain't find me. Because like I don't afraid you, I don't afraid them. There's a bunch of lying leaders around here, misleaders and misguiders. And now you utilize the poor for your gain. That's why you do. How long before I came to St. Croix, the homeless bin on Christianstead Street? Long. And there was no one to provide them assistance. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. So you, Miss James Moorhead and Albert Bryan, leave me alone. Leave me alone. If truth didn't hurt, you won't respond. I am in the street. I did must be 100 yards from her office. Never, ever came up that street to me. Now you're talking about if I come in town, why nobody didn't have meeting with you. Who is you? Tongue is yours.
Wait, hold on, Karen. This St. Croix Foundation, what is that organization about?
I don't know.
And they never offer you $1, $2, bread, nothing for the homeless.
No. And there's another program that's right there. Okay, but this program don't run 24 hours. But my thing is clear. The homeless has been in this area before you. They've been there. St. Croix Foundation used to be in Gallows Bay. They've been there before Karen came. They've been there, lying down all over. They've been there in your eyesight. They were there.
So it didn't bother her?
But it's me that come in the homeless, you know.
Oh,
it's me.
You provided for them.
Let me explain something to I live someplace, you know. I live someplace. And let me inform you how serious I is with my work. When I came and I started my program, when we were not able to shelter these people, the few that started in the shelter, they used to sleep in my house.
In Carambola?
Being too big for nobody. They used to sleep in my house.
Wow.
Being too big for nobody. I ain't better than nobody.
That's powerful.
They used to sleep in my house. I am no better than nobody. Because I have seen many who have been to the top. And they're wrong here like dog with worms scratching. We have seen nationwide people been to the top. And they end up with nothing. You don't take a man and judge him. I remember one of my clients, he passed. Bless him in his grave. And a lot of people used to watch him. Okay, he wasn't here for a long time. And when we were memorializing him, this is when people came to find out. He is one of the founders of UCA. One of them. These are people who put themselves out there for us to have what we have today. We need to stop looking at people at the onset and understand who people are on the inset. We got a status around here and a behavior that if people don't look away and act away, they're nobody. We have many around here who in my place, I have had psychiatrists, engineers, doctors. I have had them all come through this little program. All. And when you see them on the street, it is sometimes because of people like these that cause and do hardship in our community that allow people to be the way they are. It is like the government that we have currently that brings so much undue hardship to people that they end up the way they are. Cleo, they have people that works for this government that come by my place and take a shower every day.
Wow.
Jump in the car and go to work and function as regular. But they're in a couch here and a couch there. Some of them sleep in their own car when night come.
Wow.
This thing is serious. But if you think you ain't trying to do not because of Karen, you got me wrong, you know. I work for a non-profit. We never took $1 from the government. Never. I was trained well enough. I only allow them to give time. I only allowing them. Because when I turn the full press on them, they gonna understand. Yes. I could get my whole team to come down and we set this pace and move it. But I have a plan for a mental health facility. I didn't come here with my hand open begging nobody nothing. Cleo, I know this with my eyes shut. I have worked the world doing this. So if you think the little funny position them you got wrong here bothers me, it don't. I have rubbed shoulder with the best and appreciate me for who I am. Enough of that. Enough of that. Let's move forward.
Wow. Wait, before we move forward, let me at least breathe. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to look into this St. Croix Foundation. I would like to know more about this thing, because what you're saying here have me like I'm speechless.
Yeah, they
you know?
come and take over the tongue and ain't doing nothing. You see when you come through Times Square, look at the building them on the left and right. How they look?
Empty.
Okay, and dilapidated. No paint, nothing, but you worry about me with homeless. They've been there before. They were sleeping in them old buildings.
So wait, Miss Dickenson, before we continue, somebody called and told you that this woman called?
No, somebody met me.
And told you she said that?
Yes.
But she haven't come to you directly.
Come to who? And don't come. I beg you, don't come either. Don't come. And don't send your husband back up there for none of my people to go fix nothing and clean your house or whatever. Don't come. That's why he's hypocrite. Don't come. I don't want no conversation. I don't need to have no conversation with you. When they went in Campo Rico, they didn't alert the people in Campo Rico. They were bringing a shelter there. So because it's tongue, I need to speak to you. You from here, you local. You see the problem of your own people, I need to speak to you. Tongue is not yours.
Wow.
You out of the way and pass you, please. I'm a non-profit just like you.
Wow.
Do not come for me. When it comes to the homeless and mental health, I just get real ratched up. Because nobody have done nothing for them over the years before I came. Or even who have tried the way, they keep blocking them. You got a group, the group that is working to move the locals out of Frederickstead and put them all away. They take the homeless and put... You cannot attract the people to solve the problem outside of the environment. In America, we got mixed-use places. They got a shelter up in Capitol Hill. They got supportive housing in Capitol Hill. And this is people with money. The people in DC say they can fit in any place, but you want to tell me you don't want them in town. Town ain't yours. The building ain't yours. You should be ashamed of how you got that little front look. And it's the same people them just come and sweep up in front there, sweep up across the road, clean out the gutter. The same homeless that you don't want in tongue, just keep in front of your place clean.
Wow.
The hypocrite we got around here about leaders.
Wow.
So, Cleo,
let's change the subject. Whoa.
With that being said, we know the election is moving full speed ahead. And of course, we got to do the right thing.
And writing.
People, as we continue to hear the arguments as we come to the airwaves and talk about the trust that people don't have with the election system. Let's say we put a feather in our cap. Toot toot! The federal are here. The People's Choice wrote that letter to DOJ, whether it was just us and others. We know we made that start, and we're glad to have them. But we have a question as it relates to that. My question is this. If the election system didn't follow the rule of law, because what I notice around here, people don't even respect the law. It goes for some, it don't go for others. If the election system didn't follow their own rules in terms of having poll watchers, and poll watchers are key component to an election, because they're the eyes and ears for their candidates to make sure that we have fair election and everything runs smooth as prescribed by law. If for the last 15 or 18 days we didn't have poll watchers, we can question what went up with our vote. Because the poll watcher is there to make sure the count that you say is there in the daytime, to make sure that at the end of the day everything happened the way it's supposed to happen. That is what poll watchers are there for. They're supposed to be the eyes and the ears for the constituents. That is the importance of poll watchers. And let me say this to the Board of Election. I got a niece that work there, right? And she said, oh, when you say them thing, I'm saying it about you. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But if you do it right, you don't got to worry what your aunt said. But if you're doing right wrong, then you worry, right? No, I'm not saying to you or others that are there. I am just saying that if you're working and doing your part and others behind you is doing wrong, it compromises you and others. That's what I'm saying. So if we know there's rules and they're not being followed, we should be disqualifying all those votes that people put in before. That's my thought. St. Croix did what they had to do in terms of tagging and sealing the thing. I'm not worrying about that. I am worrying about when election done for all the voting and all the little people who got a temporary gun, what could happen. As we have heard, it is questionable. Because up to today, we can't find the 3,000 votes. So it's not a rigged system today. It has been before. It has been before. So I'm saying, and everybody in the sound of my voice and others, they should throw those votes out and let's start afresh November 8th. That's what I'm saying. Because you don't know if your vote went where, and I don't know if my vote went where. But I know the writing went where it's supposed to go. But it's only in fairness that we say that. St. Thomas, they didn't tag and seal. So those are left for compromise. Some of our people say they're giving these numbers every day. But when our spotters are out there, they say sometimes only 20 people went to vote. And these numbers are astronomical. Because again, I have to reference back to that and keep our people's minds fresh. On the hot mic, I don't have to worry about St. Thomas, this St. Croix, I gotta worry about. So it put me to question and wonder.
What does that mean?
People, we're in a serious quagmire here in the Virgin Islands as it relates to our elected officials. We have some of the worst elected officials here. Can't trust them. Corrupted. Gangster. And yet still, you want to condemn and prosecute the little man. We have a system here that is designed to keep our people down. We don't provide opportunity. So if you don't provide opportunity, what you're saying? Go thief, steal, or do other things, right?
Or grow weed.
Or grow weed. But so what? They should let the people then grow the weed and smoke it and sell it. They've been doing it. We got a lot of them in high places, done grow, sell, and whatever. Live their life after it. I ain't vexed with you. But when the little man do it, don't prosecute you and kill him. Because that's the choice he has. What else is being offered to our young people? Our education system is dilapidated. And as we said, let's talk about Lumako School. And we're going to bring some plates for you guys. The school has to cut the serving plates in two to feed the children. The workers have to bring in seasoning to season the food. And you're not paying the people. You're not paying them right. But you don't have the necessary. So our kids could have nutritious, tasty meals. The same workers that you don't appreciate. Because they got caring hard. With a little bit that they got, you got so much and you ain't care. They bringing in plates and seasoning and all the other necessary so that their kitchen could run.
Wow.
You're going to tell me in this height of pandemic, we don't have a disaster and we acting disastrous. If a disaster strike, then the children are eat out the hand. You're going to tell me, wow, with all the money you campaigning and going up and down,
both parties,
you can't carry couple cases of plate in the school. You can't carry a case of adobo, some salt, and all the necessary things for these cafeteria workers to have, but because they care, they go the extra mile. You're not paying them. You ain't increasing the pay. But they ain't got to cover your downfall and still try to maintain themselves with a little measly, disrespectful check that you're giving these people. And the reason why I'm going to give to them.
That's Lumokel you're talking about, right?
Lumokel. So
Wow.
we, the People's Choice, we gonna donate some stuff to them. We gonna donate some stuff to them. Ask all our followers to gather up and get a little stuff and give it to them. Because I have family member that goes to Lumokel. And whether I had or not, Saivam is my community. So the children in there is part of me. They're supposed to be part of all of us. I know the lunchroom workers are doing their best. They're doing their best with the little that they have. But they're making sure that our kids have. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? And now you got kind of $150 dinner. And now you got all these things up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And our children, not only that you have bad education system now, the teachers, I'm not blaming you guys. But you don't even have the necessary resource for them to have a decent meal. Because some kids depend on that meal. We're living in bad times around here. And so your leader don't care about your education. He don't care about your nutrition. He don't care about your health. By golly, why is I got to tell you why I don't put this guy back in? People, listen. And I'm speaking mostly to you, the undecided, and to you who haven't voted in a while. Go in and make a change. The People's Choice is a people's choice, exactly what it is. We're not just here for the writing, we're going to be here forever to keep our foot in the neck. And we are going to take this government back. I'm an extremist. When I put my mind to something, that is where it goes. Along with my warrior sister, Cleopatra, hear her name. We're serious about what we're doing. The quarterback and sideline talking is over. And if you're talking and you're making progress, quiet. If you're talking and you want to be up with something real, join. These elected officials gonna have to come to the knees, to the people. Because when the People's Choice starts, I bet you they can't get elected unless we endorse them. That is where I'm going. The writing is the start. So we can bring government to the people that is accountable to the people. That is why you write in Kent Bernier, Senior, and OAKLAND Benta. Next topic.
You know, Karen, I talk to my patients, my friends all the time, and I tell them why the People's Choice is very, very important. No, nobody calling. Nobody calling. I tell people why the People's Choice is very important. You know, coming back here like 4 years ago, I came here happy-go-lucky. You know, like I said, I just wanted to be on the beach with my two legs up in the air and find some man to take care of me. But it didn't work like that, you know. It's like I had to be a doctor here, and it's okay. But I was never in my plan to be nobody's doctor. I tried everything, Karen. I tried everything, and nothing worked. Nothing worked that I tried. Nothing worked. So I kind of gave up on life.
Not you enjoyed.
Huh? Nothing I worked like I did software engineering, I did massage therapy, I even wrote a book, I did chiropractic, I did meditation. Nothing I did. I got all these things and nothing was making me no money. So I decided, you know what, I can't live in America no more because it's not working out. I'm just going to come here, live in my parents' home, go by the beach, cock up my two leg every day, and hopefully find some man that will take care of me. That was what's in my head. In my head, that's what I was going to do. And my friend called me, and I didn't tell anybody because I was just going to do it. And she said to me, she said, Cleo, I need you to know that since you plan to come back home, you got to be licensed here in the territory. So when she said that to me, I knew that was God talking through her to me because I didn't tell anybody my little plan, you know. And then I started working. We have my own business. You know that long story. And then I end up on the radio. And like I tell my people, when I been in school, to hear them talk about all these different sicknesses, stroke, heart attack, blindness, kidney failure, it didn't matter what sickness they call. Blacks was the number one on the list every single time. Every single time. When they put in the demographics up, blacks was the number one. Black male, black female. And one day I just couldn't take this anymore, Karen. So I asked, after class, I went to the professor and I'm saying, are you telling me just because I'm black, I'm going to have all these or one of these sickness? And you will never believe, Karen, what this man told me. He said, no, you guys are the strongest race. It's what you put in your mouth. Karen, and when this man told me that, he don't even know what he told me. I became on a mission to tell everybody, don't put that in your mouth, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. Y'all leave alcohol alone, leave cigarette alone, leave alcohol alone, leave sodas alone, eat fruits and vegetables, do that all day, you know? And it's like, that was my mission. So Mr. Ali ended up helping me to have healthy living with Dr. Peter. And it's to see when COVID came about. Being in the medical field, you have to have a treatment protocol. And to see that no one was eager to create a treatment protocol and thousands of people are dying in America, a few dying here, and there is no treatment protocol. So hold up, something wrong. The CDC ain't no medical facility. The CDC is what collect data, but the CDC, just like the organization, makes all sense. It's like the CDC telling doctors what to do, but the CDC is not a medical facility. They collect data. And I find here, like, we can't wait for the CDC because the CDC is not telling you to take anything. The CDC just telling you, cover your mouth, stay home, and wash your hand. And I'm saying to myself, if I cover my nose, that means I can't breathe. I'm not bringing in any new oxygen. I'm inhaling the same carbon dioxide, which is poisonous. I wash my hand all day, and I stay home. That's not solving any problem. If you went to medical school or chiropractic school or any school dealing with healing, you would know about the immune system. And you would know to boost your immune system. And let me knock on wood. I've been around people with this thing, and knock on wood, I ain't catch this thing. And even if I catch this thing, I got hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, vitamin C and zinc, vitamin D3. I got them all. Right? So my whole thing is, I test it on myself, I test it on people. We even had a good night to my favorite senator, Senator Alicia Chucky Anson. In July, she had it. And you know who she called? She didn't call Tyhon. She didn't call Dr. Treasure. She didn't call Dr. Passad. She didn't call Donna Christensen. She didn't call none of those doctors. You know who she called, Karen? She called Dr. Peter. You know why she called me? I'm not no medical doctor. I'm a doctor that care. I am the doctor here in the Virgin Islands that care about the people of the Virgin. She there on the other team. She there with Brian and Roach. It doesn't matter what team she's on. I love her. And I don't only love her, I love you too. I love the people of the Virgin Islands. The same thing I do for her, I would do for you. I don't care.
But we want what's right for her.
But this is what I'm telling you, Karen. If we have medical doctors here, true medical doctors that graduate at the top of their class, because obviously those that in these top positions probably graduated at the bottom. They probably didn't go to the class that deals with immunization or immunity or the system, the immune system. They probably didn't go. Because I cannot understand how up to now we don't have a treatment protocol for the people of the Virgin Islands. COVID ain't gone nowhere. Christmas is coming. You guys going to be going juvie and going to all these things. Understand, I am being set up. Dr. Peter is not going to be there. I'm not going to be there. It's a setup. COVID ain't gone nowhere. COVID ain't gone nowhere. Listen to me. Let them politicians dance by themselves. Let them drink their own alcohol. I stay away from that because they don't have the heart of the people at stake. And I have to talk about this Kenny Gittens guy.
And we don't have a hospital.
That's the next thing. And that's why I keep being very adamant of what's going on. We don't have a hospital. Kenny Gittens, I sent a message to him 2 years ago. Election time is coming. He yet to tell the people of the Virgin Islands he took hydroxychloroquine, zinc, erythromycin, and he got better from COVID. At that time, 14 people currently died of COVID. Right now, we have over 120-something people. Those 120-something people, Mr. Kenny Gittens, you're going to need them to win the election. You remember I tell you that. You're going to need them same 123 people that died from COVID. You're going to need those to win the election. Up to now, and you have signs around the place, trustworthy community leader. How could you put that on a piece of paper and have all these signs around the place when you willfully know it's a lie? Because if you had the people of the Virgin Islands in your heart, like you have on those signs, you would at least tell them what you're taking. Instead of you tell them what you're taking, you know what you tell the people? COVID is bad, very bad. Stay home, cover your mouth, and wash your hand. That's Kenny Gittens. Ayo, don't vote for he. That's right. Do not vote for somebody that is not your community leader. Because guess what? If another pandemic come and he have the cure, he still ain't gonna tell Ayo again. Because if he do it once, he go do it again. And when somebody tell you who they are, believe them. Then we have Maurice James. You know where Maurice James there? In the hospital. She is on the board of the hospital. This Carla calling in. I go talk about that when I come back. Carla, you're on the air.
Dr. Peter.
Yes.
You know, I think I called in on Senator Hansen program maybe about two Saturdays ago. Actually mentioned about, getting the COVID and her husband getting the COVID. And guess what? They mix a natural remedy. The same thing I was saying about when they had the lottery, putting some money aside for those who have something to fight it back, a natural thing.
What's your question, sir? What's your question?
Huh?
What's your question?
Well, it's not so much of a question, but it would have been, why, again, natural medicine that fight the COVID, anything is not explored, let people share that information.
Okay, that's the question that's the conversation I'm having with the people of the Department of Health and the governor. They did not have these things, and they still don't have it available. Thank you, caller. Yeah, that's the same thing I'm saying. And let me talk about Maurice James. Come to find out, Maurice James is on the hospital board. Let me say it slow. The St. Croix Hospital Board. She depend. This is where the nurses end up being threatened. The nurses being threatened that if they're not vaccinated, they're going to be fired. And now we have a crisis where we don't have nurses here in the island. Because one thing they forgot is that the hospital nurses are from U.S. citizens and they could work anywhere. So now we have a hospital crisis and we have Maurice James on the board. And now she's running for Senate. And she's just going to just walk away in the Senate and no one knows who she is. All you know is that Dr. James' data. Dr. James' data is not good enough. You should have stand up for the nurses in the hospital. Maurice James, you should have stood up. And this is why I tell Ayo, we have senators that are running for office that sit down when they're supposed to stand up and stand up when they're supposed to sit down. You and Kenny Gittens need to sit down. I am not ready to serve the people of St. Croix. We need leaders. We need leaders like Patricia James. We need leaders like Patricia James that out every day fighting for the people. They say, oh, she the cause bad word. So what? All of we the cause bad word. We Crucians. We are accustomed to that. But do you want a fighter? Or you want somebody that just playing cute and they just sitting down ain't doing nothing? First time you see somebody walking, so everybody frightened. You're supposed to work for the people. As long as you're being paid for the people, you're supposed to work for the people. And what Dr. Patricia James is doing is demonstrating what we, the people of the Virgin Islands, should expect from our leaders. That is what she's doing. We shouldn't want anything less than people that are fighting for you every single day.
That is so true. We have a way around here that people want to control your thoughts, your speech, your behavior. You know, I realize coming home here to the Virgin, sometimes you got to get a draconian type of behavior.
You have
to pay attention to you, you know.
I good.
That's what you got to do. If you come to me with respect, I'm going to respect you. Don't do that. And that's what happening around here. This social status. The people that you're holding up and high is the worst. The worst than the man of the tree selling weed.
But why we hold them so high for what? They'll look down at Patricia James.
That's because
They'll look down on Patricia. I hear people talking. Somebody, we know what somebody tell me today? They tell me, oh, Patricia James is good for a community leader. I say a community advocate. I say a community advocate. What is that? I say, but wait, she not good enough for the Senate? So we have people like Kenny Gittins in there. But they like Kenny Gittins, eh? They have people like Kenny Gittins in there. Is not looking out for the people of St. Croix. We have people like Patricia James that is demonstrating what she is going to do for the people of St. Croix. But no, Patricia James too radical. Yeah. You know, we don't need her. She's more of a community advocate. She just go around the place for free and advocating. No, yeah. Patricia James is gonna be one of our best senators, a voice of the people. Because I could guarantee one thing: if another pandemic come, and I call Dr. Patricia James, and I tell she, listen, we need to get a group of doctors together so we could create a treatment protocol for the people of the Virgin Islands. I know Patricia James is going to do it. That I could put my hand in fire for. Patricia James ain't going to tell me what at least, what name is, DICKENSON told me. She is not a healthcare advisor. The governor says stay home, cover your mouth, and wash your hand. She is not a medical provider. Like, you don't have to be a medical provider. You're a leader. Your job is to bring people together to create a treatment protocol for the people of the Virgin Islands. So when y'all tell me my Patricia is not good enough to be a senator, no. That's why things gonna never change. Because guess what? We like to take people that quiet and put them on the pedestal.
No, the ones that we can control.
Oh, who could control?
That they can control. Oh,
those that they can control. But people like Patricia, you can't control her. That's who we need. We need people that is for the people of the Virgin Islands. It's for the people of St. Croix. That is who we need.
People see me every day and say, oh, you need to run for Senate. No. I got to run for Senate when they're like-minded people in the Senate.
That's right.
Who truly cares? First, we need reform because we need to get some of these people out in there holding up taxpayer money. We got some senators, they never write a bill yet. So you're wasting time. Driving the best car you'd have never had if you hadn't been in the Senate, like what you earlier. Let's speak about some other things that the OAKLAND Benta writing will do. Let's talk about the horse track. I don't know if you guys know, but Mr. Benair is an avid horseman. And who's in the horse race didn't know that. Mr. Benair said to me, he said, Karen, this, what they have here with this horse track, and what they did with the division, it was no need to. We don't need to have no negotiation contract with nobody to run our horse track. The government need to maintain its horse track like we did before and lease it out. He said there's a liability issue, that's why there's so much back and forth. So now here they come in with a racino so that they could continue to make money out of the people before the government just fix the place, make it a multi-purpose center, allow Marco to have his. We don't have to do all what Marco doing. Have it as a center where you could do other things beside race because you don't run races every day. Make sure you have sponsors to come in and run your billboard that bring in money every day and run your track. Contract it out, the different areas, not your track, lease your track. You contract out your concession, whatever. You got your billboards where people will pay the sponsorship and that keeps the track running. If you didn't know, we give you some idea again because you like to take the idea from the OAKLAND Benta team. If we had the floating hospital people, we won't worry about what's going on. The extension, extension or the new hospital,
The modular.
the modular and the new one we supposed to build, it didn't have to build in Timbuktu, and not more than that. If a storm were coming, the hospital could have moved out of the storm way and come right back into port to help those who's on the ground that is sick, that we can't provide service for our defunct hospital.
Would they, quick question, Karen, would they also provide dialysis?
Everything was on the ship.
Wow. Even cancer,
Everything
cardiac?
was on the ship.
Wow. Wow.
The guy came to the public and told him he was ready. They just needed to go ahead find the governor. And governor, if you did that, you would have looked good to
Oh
them.
man, he would have get a 22.8% lead over Valley.
Okay? But we worry about ourselves. How we gonna look for we? How we gonna think? It ain't me. Your job is not a me job or a I job. It's a we. And that's why the writing is important. Because like Mr. Bernier and Benta say, given the opportunity, you will see true leadership. We will get on the ground running. We're not an old on the job training people. I ask you to support these guys, as their whole mission is to support the less of all. We're not in no cabal. The people is running this campaign. That's why you see me come on radio. Because the law doesn't allow for them to speak, because they're not running their campaign. The voice of the people is what it is. The voice of the people is what's carrying this campaign. The voice of the people is who they serve. The voice of the people is who they are responsible to. And the people is who they going to provide the dignity and respect and bring back hope to our area. Let us talk about all that's going on with hospital and everything. We leave our local contractors out of the fold. We know we got some of the best contractors here. But every time we talk about them not having bonding. But I know you could go to SB and help for bonding. Or if we hear lack of manpower and we have our people here and because they don't have the necessary documentation, don't you think you should help
them? True.
But no. Because maybe they feel the payback from the local ain't as big as some of the other contracts they get. Our local contractors have built many things around these islands and they're still standing. They're still standing. You think it's fair that we're bringing companies from Puerto Rico to take up all our job? Because we can't go Puerto Rico from the minute you put your truck them on the dock. You don't leave and come back because you won't have no truck. It is not fair. And we continue to say that we ain't got no manpower. So who live in the Virgin Islands? Animals alone? Train your people so that they can be able to attract the jobs that everybody's coming out of the island to get. They only want a paycheck, you know. You're bringing people from the island, you're giving them transportation, you're giving them house, you're giving them food. And you don't want to train you to get not even a little food. They just want a check and you worry about how we gonna solve crime. You guys design it so it could continue. But all who design it benefits. You can't tell me different. We have a vocational training school. Bring it up to date and put them there to work. And they will be able to get into the jobs as the industry comes in the island. Train them to what the industry is looking for. We have an NCCR training that is nationally recognized. Reach into these young men, man. And some of the women too. Let us talk about our elderly. You know, Governor Brian, you should be ashamed of yourself to tell old people you don't give them 500. You see all the money that they take for vaccine, lottery and all of that? That was the people money. But again, you do what you do so you could benefit. Other states are giving away those money in increments every month. What you look like giving an older American, an older Virgin Island, $500 after 2.5 years. That's a slap to these people, man.
Girl, my mother even get check for $34 and it's still on the dresser. My mother,
Listen to me.
they refuse to change it.
I run my program, and it's becoming a nursing home because we don't have any nursing home facility by the government that people who don't have. I have some seniors in there that wear Pampers. Every other week I pay $500 for Pampers and bed liners. I don't ask nobody for nothing. This is my 3rd year, going into my 3rd year, and I buy it for them. What the heck $500 gonna do for these people? And you seniors out there, don't let this government fool you. Because we have some seniors there that don't have nobody to care for them. Some days they stay wet in Pampers because they have nobody to help them. Instead of us looking at how we can fix it, I know how to fix it. And make sure that our elders are taken care of. If they don't have a good neighbor to come by and give them a hand, our seniors are living in terrible condition. Terrible condition. Let me say this, Dr. People. I don't only take care of the people you see in the shelter. I have some seniors in homes that we take care of. Also.
So you go to their home?
Yes, I send people there and pay them to take care of them. Okay? It is serious out here and people are paid jumping up and they really got nothing going on. Well, we need to have a database, not for disaster. Hire people to go out on the street and make sure that they have clientele that they connect with on a regular. I serve 100 people plus a day. We don't have no staff. Everybody volunteer. And when they do, sometimes we only down to 2 or 3. But each one teach one. Everybody has my center take care of everybody, as you have seen. And we make sure that everybody we have in the street, they go to the doctors. We make sure that they eat every day. And what needs to be taken care of with the total wraparound, we do that. Go in the street and ask any of my clients, them. They love me better than cook food. Ask them, because I care. I'm on a mission. It ain't about no status and money. It is my obligation to assist another man when he's down. That is my job. Remember when I came here, I didn't come here asking nobody for nothing. I work for my money. Good money too. And I do what I want with my money. They talk about, oh, she don't bring in no paper. I don't owe the government no paper. The government never give me no money. They want me to turn in report to recoup last from what I don't spend. I don't want them money. I didn't ask them for that. If I were looking for it before I spend it, then I would not spend it.
True.
I wasn't looking for it.
True.
Because when I tried to talk with I never had me in mind. So I tell them stop calling my name on radio and say about I owe them paper. I don't owe you a single thing. Because I never get $1 from her. So I don't owe you nothing. Absolutely nothing. If I want to show what I spend, I show. If I don't have to. Because I never get. Give me your money. And then I will show you how I spent it. But if you don't give me it, I'm going to show you what. No, I don't have to do that. So when they come on radio, let it stop. Like I to the point, I don't have to lie about nothing. So we talk about our seniors. Let us talk about the children. And especially those with developmental disabled, that are developmental disabled, and the parents and individuals. What do we have around here to offer? Some places aren't even ADA compliant and people don't care. You're not sanctioning them. You don't have a place for these individuals to go to. You don't have a place for parents to get a peace of mind. Because when you have individual in your life with challenges, and at some point you want somebody to come so you can have a little respect to go and regroup. That is even when you have a family member, not just the kids but the adults. We've seen a growing increase of Alzheimer's among our family members. And we don't have anyone to support these families. Families be calling me, Miss Dickinson, oh my God, please, I don't know what to do. Miss Dickinson can't do everything I wish I could. But sometimes I have an assistant and they call back and say, thank you so much. I can't save the whole world. I go to St. Thomas. When you coming over here, Miss Dickinson, I don't hear you on the radio. I love what you don't say. I love you. I say I gotta clean my house first before I come and clean anybody. And these are the things that the team of Kent Bernier and Oakland Benta is looking at. From birth to dying. We have to encompass all as we move on with our society for it to be better. We have to be able to expand our transportation so people with disability can feel more independent. If Miss Susie wants to go by her boyfriend 12 o'clock, we should be able to afford them that. We should be able to have Vitra running more routes with more mechanics. Where the Kent Bernier and Oakland Benta team wants to put one central garage and make sure that we send our mechanics away to train with the companies of the cars that we have. One big database of when we need to provide service to these transportation. And make sure that we have a place with the necessary basics for these vehicles so we don't have to be up and down and have vehicle parked and put down because we can't get a screw or a nail or
we don't know how to fix it, period.
right. The team of Kent Bernier and Oakland Benta want to make sure that when people drop in the Virgin Islands, they say, wow, this is the gem of the United States.
That's right. America's paradise.
You know what this look like? You know what we look like? We look like a country that had a war and we just reaching up to look good again. I come home here, I was so disappointed in the way my home looked. And this is a degreed individual that's running our government. I couldn't imagine if they didn't have any degree, what would have happened? They're supposed to be some of the brightest, they said. There's so much that is needed and the people that can help do it. We have a set of incompetent leaders in position and offices. Continue to abuse this government and defraud the government every day. Who ain't driving drunk? And I don't tell me, because when I do it, I tell her, hey, try to put up the government car before you put it up. You're drunk. What you doing behind the government wheel? Got a whole family in the car up and down and going and putting in government gas. The governor up and down campaigning in the government car. You guys are there asking for support to be leaders and you're defrauding the government in the eyes of the people. But they get so blindsided they can't see.
What about the woman you met at the market?
Oh, the lady from the government.
Tell the people the story.
So I went to the market the other day to get some goods and support our local ladies in the market. And I got in the market and I said, do the right thing and write it loud and clear. And here there is a government worker in a government car and government time with government cars and a government chauffeur. And I know her very well. I know her very well. You could have pinched me and said, no, number one. No, you want to stand up and campaign on government time with government car, with government cars. No, no, stronger than ever. Vote number one. When I was working government and the guy election, you know not to do that in the government place. You went to the market You in there in no cafeteria job. You don't work in no cafeteria. You was buying stuff for yourself. On government time with government care. And like I said to her, since I want to harass, you is one on the fire list. Sad to tell you. But it's the fact. Remember I told her that fire list, I see a lot of face on it. And a lot of names.
When you say fire list, what are you talking about?
So there's a list that they're going to get rid of a lot of people from the Bryan administration.
If he wins.
If he wins. But girl, when you win a wedding, you win, you're going. So you might as well try to change your vote and maybe you're safe on the other side. And I know you have to stay there campaigning because a lot of you in that position. And it is a demand that you come out. That's against the rule. I demand people to come out. You give them a job, either you keep them, you don't keep them. But anyway, I know the people them personally, and it hurts me, Cleo, all the time. I think about it because, again, like I said, we can't vote for everybody. But we know in campaigning, got some people that put the 900, not 9, like me and you. We put our 900. And these people have their families. These people set their life base on. And when I saw the names, it hurt me to the core. It did. It was sad. Because you don't plan to put people out of bread. But they're out there killing themselves every day for you. But you're ready to put them out of bread. If I am supposed to call the name them on these airwaves, Cleo?
Don't do it.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, don't do it.
Because we don't have space at the hospital. Because people going to take in. It's sad. That is how terrible they are. These people ain't taking nothing from you. You got them on fire list.
And they're supporting you.
They're supporting you 1,000,000,000%. It hurt me, I tell you. It's a race.
But you know, that reminds me, Karen, when Governor DeYoung won the second time. And
But Governor DeYoung still ain't the governor.
he's still a governor, I know. I remember there was, when he won the first time, they was using a slang, wutup, wutup. And when he won the second time, he gave the whole Virgin Islands a wutup. And the Virgin Islands is yet to recover from that beating DeYoung gave everybody. And I believe that voting for Governor Bryan again is a second wutup.
That's a thumb down. Wutup. That's a thumb down.
And my thing is, you know, a lot of the time we want different results, but we do the same thing. That's called insanity. If we want something different, we got to do something different. We got to take a chance. When I was working at Beeston Hill, and this man, the owner of Beeston Hill, told me, Karen, this man watch me in my face. I go walk every day, no, Monday through Friday, every day. I go walk a little late, but I don't go to work, and I don't stay overtime. And when this man told me in my face, you better, if y'all don't start to see 40 people, 40 patients a day, I'm going to shut you the F down. In my face, he told me that. And he used to pay for my radio show. He used to be the sponsor. And he told me that don't work. He told me that. And I had a choice to stay there.
And suffer under that.
And suffer under that mental, physical, spiritual abuse for $2,000 every 2 weeks.
Or walk
off with nothing. And I rather walk away with nothing than stay there. My daughter tell me, but mommy, this is the first time you start to make money, mommy. Mommy, how you gonna live? I said, baby, I cannot. In my heart, I cannot stay walking under this man. And this man just insulted me to my core. Insulted me to my core. Insulted me to my core. I cannot stay underneath that. I rather go on the beach, do 2 or 3 massages or adjustments, make $1 or $2 for the day and be comfortable than stay underneath that system of abuse, of racial abuse, discrimination, and insulteration of me. I just made a word. I can do that. I refuse to stay there. And that's insulteration. I refuse to stay there. And I took a chance on my life. And that's the best thing I ever did. Caller, you're on the air.
Al Shalanti, Dr. Peter and Dr. Dickenson, let me say thank you for being on the air and on the broadcast. My learning question real quick before you go off the air is this. You know, I do appreciate when you often say those who are supposed to sit down are standing up, and those who are standing up are supposed to sit down. In light of that, here's my learning question for both of you. As of Governor Evans to now, and of the senators who are elected by the people of the Virgin Islands to now, which one of the governors or senators or is a minister of a church? I grew up in a society where leaders are shepherds, pastors, priests, people who are working with people, having an assembly with our congregation. And they learn about governance by governing those people that were not elected politically. So if we have a society of so many churches here in the Virgin Islands and so many ministers, especially the Seventh-day Adventists, you tell me they couldn't select or elect one of their own to run for the Senate?
Let me answer that question, Dr. Yates. Thank you for calling. The reason, Dr. Yates, that I could talk Seventh-day Adventist, because I grew up Seventh-day Adventist. The reason, and I'm realizing more and more, the church is similar to the government. Correct. It's there to oppress the people, especially the people here in the Virgin Islands. You go and you check this out, eh? They have churches in every corner. And especially during the pandemic, you know, they were still collecting tithe and offering. When nobody was working, they were still saying, bring the money into the storehouse. Bring the money into the storehouse. And I realized more and more, Dr. Yates, government and the church is basically the same thing. They oppress the people. Promise them something in the sky and do nothing for them while they're living. Promise them something when they die. Let me rephrase it. Promise them riches when they die. But while they're living, no riches for you. The government does the same thing. And only we can change that. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And Bob Marley said best, only we can free our own minds. Only we. The church, the Seventh-day Adventist church, I know for a fact, is the same thing. And I'm sure the churches are the same. Let me tell you.
Well, let me chime in here.
You go ahead and chime in.
Now that you said church. The St. John's Anglican Church in Christiansted is no different. Right now, we have to leave the building.
Wow.
Because they don't want them people in there. A set of them on the vestry. And the minister that left before that is so disingenuous.
Wow. The St. John Church is in Christiansted.
We have spent so much money to bring that building where the church invited us there. The minister invited us there. We just came from court.
How long the building was there before you?
Oh God, years. And I think Chucky's Strong Foundation was the last. And that must be what, 40, 50 years ago. We came and fixed that building up. The same people is serving. Again, you said the church is like government because a few on the board want to control money. The church broke. The church is broke. They don't have an audit just like the government. So we came as a member of the church. I grew up in the church. Then we have a good partnership. Not that they're in there with me. They just invite me to use the structure. The structure need help. I was going to get the grant to fix it up and let the community be a part of the whole thing. The boys on the corner where you're talking ain't gonna walk. When we're doing the renovation, they would have been a part of it. It was a whole community effort. The day before we went before the Senate, the minister, a couple of days, asked me to write a letter of support to present, and then they said, don't support it because they want to control the purse string. The church.
Wow.
These same people that has been sleeping in that same location before I came. The church. We used to go up in that church every month and give an account of what we doing. The church. When the few couldn't control me. That's what the problem is. They can't control me. I didn't come here with a church in mind. We only have a space. But I belongs to the church. The church don't have the money. We was fixing the whole parish hall so the church could have residual income. All I ask of them is to let us make it a specified disaster shelter for the mental health and the homeless so that they don't have to be entangled with the regular population in time of disaster. Go ahead and rent out the kitchen. Go ahead and rent out the space. Go ahead and rent out the stage. Keep the monies out of your church. I just want the space for overflow and disaster. That's it. Let me stay downstairs. The church. I spend more than $80,000 fixing up downstairs, electrical, plumbing, everything, putting up things. We get some support. I spend my money and I got a receipt to show. The church.
Wow.
But I'm telling them early, when I leave there, give back my money while spending there. All the plumbing and everything is there, stored in a little apartment they have on the side, all the toilet, everything.
You fix the place.
The church.
Wow. So they rather leave it empty than help the people that
No,
is
it's
less.
no, it's me. It's me.
Baba?
It's Baba. It's Baba. But like I say, all of us have to live with a conscience.
Well, you see, the thing is, Karen, and we gotta wrap things up. It's like we're not gonna live forever. We're not living forever. We just passing through, you know. And I've always said, I don't want to just die and not stand for something. I want to, while I'm living, stand for something, have a purpose. And I think we all should have a purpose. And my purpose was coming back home, especially to help the older population, so that they can be functioning, so that they can do as much as they can do for us, for themselves, as long as they can do for themselves. And doing therapies in the office, some of them therapies I don't even get paid for, I don't even care. I just want to be able to see them moving so that they're able to do for themselves. And my whole thing is, when I'm long gone, I will be remembered for that. I know that for a fact. What will you be remembered for, Karen?
Well, my purpose coming back home clear was to give back to my people and bring back a sense of pride and integrity into my people. The homeless, the marginalized, and the stigmatized. This is the work that I did all over. If I could do it out there, I thought that coming home would have been
Open arms.
Open arms to help.
So when you do it in the States, the other places, they welcome you.
What? They said, Karen, we need you. We needed to go this way. We needed to go that way. We needed to go this way.
So Karen, if push come to shove, you can go back to the States right now and live comfortable.
Of course.
Wow.
Of course.
Wow.
They doing me nothing. Me come. When I come here, I come with a little bag. But it's home I'm coming. Because I have a home here. Right? I grew up in Saifa. I got a home here. Like, I got to squeeze with nobody. I come home because I want to be home. My children still there in the States, they're okay, and they come every so often to give a hand because they can do that. They take a little time out, they work, they come, they help, they go back. Right? Me and hand, they had a time when I would hand them out, you know. I would have wished somebody would have given me a hand. But today I have it like that. And I have so much that I can give, and I want to give and continue to share. And that is what Ken Pinera and OAKLAND Benta want to do. I come on this radio every day to give the message for my people. the poor, the destitute, the sick, the dumb, the blind, the people who nobody care about, the people who the government don't care about,
Who the church don't care about.
I am talking to my people in the projects that I grew up in. I tell you who I is. The people I grew up with. Don't let nobody else come and fool you about voting for them. They've done that too long to us. And when they get in, they don't do nothing for us. You guys know that I just do whether I have or not. And I will continue. So I'm telling you, for us to get a government to continue to help you guys with the passion and the help that I provide to you guys, do the right thing and right in Kent Bernier, Senior, Oakland Benta.
Give the people your phone number, Karen.
The number is 340-473-9806. I talking to you, the man of the tree, who nobody ain't care about, who done be in jail. We's the alumni. I talking to you. Because soon I gonna have an expungement clinic. So I come and get your record clean up. So I go fit back in society. I know how that's done. Guys, the ones who haven't voted in a while, I'm talking to you too. Who don't like the status quo. When you do the right thing, nobody could thief your vote. Who you vote for is who gets your vote. Bubble in the paper, write the name of Kent Bernier Senior and Oakland Benta. On the touch screen machine, a keyboard will come up. You type the name in with the pen that they're going to provide to you guys. And let me do this thing. Next Saturday, from 3 to 9, we will be in Frederickstead on the bandstand with our final rally. King Short Shirt will be our entertainer. We ask you to come down because this man got some serious message like what the People's Choice have. And that is my bloodline. Antigua, come down.
Come down.
Pint man, yeah. So I ask you to come. Come and hear our message.
Come and support us.
Come and support. First, we ask you to support the writing of Kent Bernier and Oakland Benta because we have to change the structure around here and bring government back to its people. Second, we want you to come and hear what the People's Choice is about and ask you to come and join. It is not a political organization. This is our first initiative. Well, the second, because the first one was writing the letter to the Department of Justice. And hooray, hooray to us, we got some result. And this will be our second initiative in where we pushing the candidacy of Kent Bernier, Senior, and Oakland Benta. Again, if you want to speak to me or have question, concern, please call me 340-473-9806. People, we thank you for this hour and a half that you allow us to come into your home and hear the truth for the common man that is listening to us. We are here championing the cause of the underserved and the forgotten. We are here putting our voice out because we say, give me liberty or
give me death. Thank you, Dr. Karen Dickenson. She don't like me to say about it anyway. Let me tell you a quick story. Somebody texted me, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. And they asked me for the correct name for Kent Bernier and Oakland Benta. But I didn't see the message until like 7 o'clock in the night. So I start freaking out like, oh my God. So I text them, the name is Kent Bernier and Oakland Benta. So they text back and they tell me, is it junior or senior? So I text them back and I say, is Kent Bernier Senior and Oakland Benta? So I asked them, did you vote yet? And the person said, no, I did not vote because you did not text me back. So I would like to tell you thank you for waiting on me patiently. And you can call me too at 340-277-6398. Karen, you want to say something one more thing?
Yeah, and I want to say all of those individuals who have gone out, and cast their vote for the writing, we thank you. For months, we allow them. For months, it was the negativity. They can't because they wanted us to do what they want us to do, to continue with the status quo so poor people won't shine. Hey, the people's choice is masses over classes. We want to thank everybody who have been there for us from the start, who haven't been, who haven't fallen. We want to thank those new ones who have come from the two teams and they have come back home, or they have come to the reality that we stand in governance and government, to the team with the most experience. And I challenge anyone to say that I'm telling a fib. The Kent Benair and Kent Benair Senior and Oakland Benta is the guys that's going to bring these Virgin Islands back to its glory days. And for you who need to sit down when your time comes, sit down. And who need to stand up, stand up. Guys, we want to thank you so much. And let me say this before I go too clear. Let's pray for those who have the blue roof and all this rain that's coming. I hear that the governor talking some ignorance, but you got 6-inch black bill house. So what happened to them who got 6-inch black bill house and they got a little roof problem? They used to break down the house. Oh, FEMA say you got to break down and blah, blah. But if FEMA say you got to break down, usually FEMA will bring a temporary for you to them. I work for FEMA in Texas and all of those places, and I know how it go. So you need to stop talking all this hippie-jibby and fast talking. That's like a hustler. You fast talk people so they don't come in and ask you question. Stop the lying. Stop the lying. All of us have a conscience and we have a soul. I hope you have one.
But I could fix roof if you push me.
Okay. People, thank you so much for your time. See you guys next Sunday. Listen to me and Ross Isaiah tomorrow on 100.3 FM. We're coming to blaze up the fire for the
what time?
Man
What?
At 10:30. We'll be on, listen to me on Radio 1 Tuesday in St. Thomas. We got it going on. People, this real. Come and join the People's Choice. The writing is real. It's happening. And we gonna bring history in the Virgin Islands. Thank you guys for listening. Good night. Answer the last card to you.
Thank you. Carla, you're on the air.
Good night, Miss Peter.
Good night.
This is Miss Wilkes. One of your brides. And Karen.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Josephine.
Hi.
I was just calling to tell you I like what you said, and I've listened to you. But you went to after the.
Oh, 340-277-6398. Thank you, caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. You're on the air.
I just want to tell Karen that I think she's doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
If you had come out from before, I think you would have got bigger some people out there.
No, listen,
Thank all of
honey.
that. I think you're doing a
Listen, hon. Listen, hon.
doing what you're doing.
This writing take a different kind of turn than every election, and everything that we do, we have to do it based on procedures. But however, we have 54,000 voters. The right time is the right time, and now is the time. And if you voted only before, it's okay. But tell your friends them, and tell your friends and tell your friends, because I'm the voice of the poor. I'm the voice of those who nobody care about, right? And in order for us,
I could, the passion, I could hear it in your voice.
and in
So you
order,
understand what you said,
yes.
and you will succeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller.
And you share it with your friends. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, guys. Thank everyone. Thank everyone for listening to Healthy Living with Dr. Peter. Thank everyone for listening to Healthy Living with Dr. Peter. It's a blessing to have Dr. Karen Dickenson here with Healthy Living with Dr. Peter. We just want to be able to give you guys truth, and you guys do the right thing, and listen to us next week, Healthy Living with Dr. Peter, and we're going to be next week Saturday in Frederickstead, and we're going to be having music, we're going to be having food, we're going to be celebrating, and we're going to be congregating, all right? So thank you guys, and have a blessed day. I love you guys here on St. Christ, St. Thomas, and St. John. St. John, remember, wink, wink. How come I can't hear the thing?
How many hours come I can hear?
Every week it was a problem. Like,
Thank God. Listen, if Brother Stone wasn't here, I would have been a hot mess.
every time I come up the step, I need to play.
Yo, thank you for listening.
Ken Bernier, and Oakland Benta.
Join the People's Choice write-in for Kent Bernier Sr. and Oakland Benta for election reform, paid for by People's Choice.
Ken Bernier, and Oakland Benta.
Join the People's Choice write-in for Kent Bernier Sr. and Oakland Benta to end corruption and mismanagement, paid for by People's Choice.
Ken Bernier, and Oakland Benta.